Anthony Albanese calls left-wing opponents of Voice to Parliament radicals. Anthony Albanese has branded left-wing opponents of the Voice to Parliament radicals, describing the government's referendum proposal as a mainstream concept and urging politicians to support it to advance reconciliation efforts. After facing criticism from progressive and conservative quarters at the federal level on January 26, the Prime Minister heralded the endorsement for the Voice referendum from all state leaders, including the country's only two Liberal state premiers, Dominic Perrottet and Jeremy Rockcliffe.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
Only two Liberal state premiers, Dominic Perrottet and Jeremy Rockcliffe. In the space of 14 hours, Albanese appeared alongside Perrottet and Rockcliffe in Sydney and Devonport, respectively. Each gave their glowing endorsement to the Voice. Across the country, every state premier, every chief minister, is supporting yes at this referendum because this is about progress going forward. It is about reconciliation, he said at a press conference on Friday in Tasmania, where he appeared alongside Tasmanian Premier Rockcliffe. It's not a radical proposition. So I'm not surprised that some radicals are opposed to it. Because this is a mainstream proposition. Thousands of people attended Invasion Day rallies across Australia on Thursday, where First Nations speakers in many locations made a case against an Indigenous voice to Parliament being enacted before a treaty. In Canberra, one speaker described the Voice proposal as crumbs, saying the idea of a consultation body did not go far enough. Greens Senator Lydia Thorpe has demanded the government make guarantees around Indigenous sovereignty before she would support the referendum. Conservative critics have raised concerns at the opposite end of the spectrum, suggesting the Voice proposal is too wide-ranging. Albanese, facing criticisms from members of the coalition and the Greens, has urged parliamentary colleagues to put the Voice debate above politics. Appearing on an ABC TV broadcast from Australia Day celebrations at the Sydney Opera House alongside Albanese, New South Wales Premier Perrottet said Australia needed to come together as one nation and be unified. We support as a government the Voice, Perrottet said. Albanese noted the support of all First Ministers and expressed hope the referendum would be a unifying moment for the nation. Albanese later tweeted a clip of this exchange, further highlighting Perrottet's support. In Tasmania on Friday, Albanese was asked about the Invasion Day rallies and whether their opposition to the Voice would harm the referendum. He acknowledged people had different views on the proposal, and that it was not realistic to expect a homogeneous view. I very firmly believe that the Uluru Statement from the Heart was very clear about the priority that Indigenous people, after hundreds of consultations, came together and they said they wanted Voice as the first thing, he said. This is a modest and gracious request for reconciliation by Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. If we don't recognize Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island peoples in our constitution this year, when Australians will have the opportunity to do so, when will we? Albanese then invited Rockcliffe to speak. I will be voting yes in the referendum, for very good reasons, the Tasmanian Premier said. We have failed Indigenous Australians in so many areas. This is about bringing the country together, every state and territory, supporting the referendum, unity and purpose, to ensure that we, as a country, support and listen to our Indigenous community. The Liberal and Greens parties are both expected to resolve their formal party room position on the Voice in the next few weeks. Thorpe's public announcement of demanding sovereignty concessions before personally backing the Voice is expected to pave the way for the Greens to resolve to support the referendum. Several pro-Voice Liberals are calling for their party to allow a free vote on the issue. As a country, support and listen to our Indigenous community. The Liberal and Greens parties are both expected to resolve their formal party room position on the Voice in the next few weeks. Thorpe's public announcement of demanding sovereignty concessions before personally backing the Voice is expected to pave the way for the Greens to resolve to support the referendum. Several pro-Voice Liberals are calling for their party to allow a free vote on the issue. For their party to allow a free vote on the issue.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.